Welcome back. In this video you are going to learn how to make a complaint politely. Now, in a previous video we explored how to complain within a formal letter or an email. So today's video is really going to focus on how you can actually make a complaint face to face. So what are the circumstances that you might find yourself in where you need to make a complaint? Well, you could have purchased something, so you might be making a complaint about a faulty product. Or you could be in a restaurant and you're making a complaint about the meal you've received. Whatever the reason for you making a complaint, we have some expressions that we can use to make our complaint really polite and get the desired response back from the person we are complaining to. The first thing I want you to think about is how could you sculpt your demand and turn it into a request. The way in which we turn our demands into requests is we phrase them as a question. And here's an example. Instead of saying, "You need to fix this," you could say, "Can you help me with this?" Do you see how turning our demand into a question and therefore making it a request, it comes across so much more polite and we're still able to make our complaint heard? Now, it would be a great idea to actually approach this person very politely before we make our complaint. And here are some expressions that we can use. For example, "Excuse me." That's a really polite way of getting someone's attention. Or we could say, "I am sorry to bother you," and then explain what the problem is. You could actually put both of these together and say, "Excuse me, I am sorry to bother you." That would be really, really polite. Now, once you have started off your conversation with this person politely, you want to start to explain the problem. So here are some examples. When we are explaining the problem, we want to, again, come across really, really politely. And here's an expression you might use. "There has been a misunderstanding." So if there is something where there's been a bit of a confusion or a breakdown in communication and a complaint needs to be made, we can tell the person this by saying that there has been a misunderstanding. This is a really polite way of contradicting somebody. We could say, "I'm afraid." So we could start our sentence when we're explaining the problem with "I'm afraid." So for example, if we are wanting to request a refund and complain that a product or a purchase is faulty, we can say, "I'm afraid this is faulty," or "I'm afraid this is damaged," or "I'm afraid this is broken." This is a really polite way of coming across when you were explaining the problem as part of your complaint. Then what you want to do is make sure that you do not place any blame on the person you are speaking to, because placing blame is not very helpful and it's not very polite. So we could say, "I understand it's not your fault." Or we might say, "I understand it's not your fault, but," and then explain the problem. "I understand it's not your fault, but I would like this sorted out. I understand it's not your fault, but this product is broken." Then we can look to explain our point of view. For example, we could say, "I understood that," or we could say, "It was my understanding that." So for example, "I understood that I would receive 3 items in my package." Or we could say, "It was my understanding that I would receive 3 items in my package, but I only received 2. There are some examples of how we can complain politely. I want you to think about using these expressions next time you need to make a complaint and see if you can get the desired outcome in a really polite manner. Thanks for watching my video and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.